Hi, Jeff.
Hello.
Just kind of your mood today. You're a guy that loves football. You coach football. You play football. You did all this to not have a season now. Just kind of what were your initial thoughts of all this, and how have you kind of compressed all this into what this means for your program and also for your players, and kind of how do you move forward after this?
Well, I'm personally very disappointed. I know our team is disappointed. I know really everyone across our conference is disappointed not to get the opportunity to play football. That's what we train for. It's what we work for. It's a game. It's a lot of fun to do. It's a lot of fun to watch. And, we were looking forward to it. And we were excited about playing a conference-only schedule of 10 great teams in our conference and seeing how that played out. So our guys have taken it hard. We kind of caught wind a couple days ago that some things may be going down. So we had a little idea that there were some uncertain times these next few days, especially when the conference went to just helmets only throughout training camp until they got more information. So that's when it kind of set in a little bit for our guys, and we were hopeful to get some good news today, but we did not, and we have to move forward.
Do you have any idea what you'll be able to do this fall? Does fall turn into a pseudo spring practice season, or do you have any idea yet?
Well, I don't think there's any definitive answers yet. There's been a lot of things discussed. I think it's important that we take care of our players and provide them a home here to train and to be taken care of and to be monitored and with proper COVID protocol to make sure our guys are staying healthy, and that's for sure going to happen, and we want to make sure we do that. We want to continue to help our guys improve and get better and become the best player they can be. In my opinion, I really don't know how you can have a version of spring football in the fall when you're not allowed to play football games. So I don't see that happening. I don't really think that's the best thing to happen. I think we can get work done, and in my opinion, prepare to try to play a spring season. I think myself and our team, we want to play football. I've heard a lot of people get on the air and say they want to play football. And while I want to do it right now as well, if it can't happen now, we all need to find a way to see if we can play in the spring. And I think there can be a lot of advancements that happen until then that give us the opportunity to do that. And I'm hopeful that we can prepare to possibly play a season in the spring.
I mean, there are some challenges there from a weather standpoint, trying to play outdoors, and whether it be late February, early March. But are those, in your mind, big obstacles to overcome, or is that something you feel the conference can overcome to have a season?
Well, weather is not the biggest obstacle to me. I think between now and whenever we start in the spring, the medical advancements that we can make and the education we can learn along the way, the possible ability to get a vaccine before then, the ability to watch the NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, and see how these teams react. I think there could be a lot of improvement to help us get to that point. Now, the exact time frame and amount of games, I don't know the exact answer. In my opinion, maybe you start March 1st and you have an 8-game season that ends at the end of April. Maybe you have an 8-team playoff to make it exciting that doesn't go beyond Memorial Day weekend. And then maybe you give yourself the players the entire summer off from workouts. Right now, people talk about, that can't happen. We play a season, we go to a bowl, and then basically right after the bowl, a couple weeks later, we're starting training already. There's not a whole lot of time off that we have now. We go through spring practice, we tackle, we scrimmage, we have a spring game. So to me, it's possible. Then maybe you bump back the start of the next season to October 1st, and maybe just have a 10-game season continued with an 8-team playoff to have some excitement. And then possibly after that, maybe don't have spring practice the following year to allow more time. So to me, there's a lot of things and discussions that need to happen to give that an opportunity and a chance to happen. Then also maybe you have fans in the stands that give excitement to the game of football. That's really what college football is all about. I mean, to be honest with you, there probably weren't a whole lot of teams excited to go play Penn State in a stadium where no one was in there. So I think we need to look into it. I'm totally for trying to make that work, and I'm hopeful that our entire conference, and when it's all said and done, everyone involved can find a way to play football in the spring. especially if we really want to play football and give our seniors a chance to play football.
Just one more from me. Will the program continue to do COVID tests for the foreseeable future?
We actually have a COVID test scheduled for tomorrow. So yes, I think, in my opinion, we've done a great job here of taking care of our guys with the testing, with the contact tracing, with the numerous elements of spreading out and keeping space in our building, to the sanitation, sterilization, constant cleaning, keeping space on the practice fields. I think we've done a great job, and I'm sure other programs have done a good job as well. So that'll continue, and we're going to give our guys an opportunity to continue to improve and get better, and hopefully have a chance to play football, whatever that is.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Alan Karpick?
I'll pass at this point. Thanks. Just monitoring.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Brian Newbert.
Hey, Jeff. I think I just heard you on BTN say Saturday was a turning point. Can you speak to what happened Saturday that kind of swung this in the direction it ended up going in?
Well, I think Saturday was the day that they came out with, hey, we're going to continue the acclimatization period of just helmets.
Mm-hmm.
From my understanding, there was a possible meeting between all the medical experts and the medical task force that we had in the Big Ten with the commissioner. I was not on that call. I'm not even sure if the ADs were on that call, that there wasn't a whole lot of good information, and there was a lot of doubt about being able to play the season. And that's when, we knew some things were going in a direction we didn't want, because until then there was a ton of positivity, and we were extremely excited about the season. And then from there, it became obviously more, and then it became what it became today. Mm-hmm. So while I want to play and we all want to play, in the end, I'm not going to second guess our commissioner. I'm not going to second guess the medical experts. In the end, we have to abide by what they say. I mean, I know on our team, we have a team doctor, we have a trainer. I don't always agree with what they say, but in the end, I have to go by what they're saying. So, obviously the information became so much that they didn't think it could happen this fall. So we'll have to try to move forward and go from there.
Mike asked you before what you can do from here on out, but can you speak to the importance of having something to do with them? For a lot of these guys, obviously, structure is important. The resources around your program, the oversight, I'm sure is important. Can you just kind of speak to the importance of being able to keep guys around football? It's such a big part of what they do, such a big part of their identity and their well-being.
You're correct. I mean, I think we have a great plan in place. Yes, being here on campus, us being able to do the things necessary in this building, in our weight room, and from a nutrition standpoint and from a football standpoint, I think we can do a great job. In the end, when people get on campus, are players really going to abide by those stern social distance guidelines that we have? I'm hopeful, because to me, that's when possible more problems can come about. But I know, even with our team, we did a great job, but we had a few people test positive. We had quite a few out from contact tracing. We had multiple guys out twice from contact tracing for a total of 28 days when they never had one symptom. So to think going through the entire fall season with that taking place, there were some question marks of whether that was going to be a viable option for every team in the Big Ten if they were abiding by the strict protocols that were put in place. I was hopeful it could happen, but that's why we told our team, hey, everybody has to be ready to play, because I don't know who's going to get in. There can be some situations when we show up to test one day and we have multiple positives, and then multiple people are out, and we've got to adjust. So, like I said, I think our guys being here, they're going to be safe. But when it comes to people coming on campus, we're going to have to be responsible when they leave the building as well.
Right. And just one other quick question for me. Does this have any bearing on how you recruit moving forward? Does this affect the process at all? Or is this you put all your time into recruiting now? Or I guess I know this is also new, but do you have any thoughts on that part of it?
Well, in a recruiting standpoint, not being able to get guys on campus is not beneficial for us. So it has not been something that I've liked, but it's the same everywhere. So at least I can say it's consistent everywhere, and no one has a true advantage from that aspect. But yes, it's important for us to get guys on campus. It's important for us to showcase what Purdue has to offer, which I think is more than what they normally think when they get here. And we've had great success up until that point. This year, there is going to be a smaller class, so we're not interested in signing as many. But at the same time, not being able to get people on campus has I wouldn't say hurt us, but it's not been a positive for us, and that'll probably continue for quite a bit longer.
I'm good. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Brian. Tom Dienhart.
Hey, Jeff, do you wish maybe the Big Ten would have waited a little bit longer, maybe tried to play September 26th? Is that something you maybe would have liked to have seen happen?
Well, you're reading my mind. I mean, when we were in all these discussions from a coaching standpoint and Big Ten, my personal opinion was to have multiple plans ready. And that was, okay, worst case scenario, let's get the spring plan ready. Okay, let's say we can't start on time. Let's be able to maybe back that thing up a little bit. In my opinion, when the SEC backed it up to September 26th, I thought we should have as well, because it would allow us more time, a few weeks, to gather more information and to maybe more testing kits and protocols that we can adjust from, see how it reacts when people get on campus. So I do think that hurt us, that we didn't do that. And unfortunately, we've had the Big Ten had to do what they had to do in the end today. But yes, I think it hurt us, and I would have preferred if we would have scooted the season back.
Are you afraid of maybe any players opting out because of this, losing any guys?
Are you talking about if we have a spring season?
Just not playing this fall. Maybe say the SEC's playing, the ACC's playing. Somebody's looking for a place to play.
You know what? I can't predict the future. I don't see that happening, but I couldn't say it's not going to. I would have loved to have a commissioner that was in charge of all 5 of the Power Fives, and they all were on the same page, and we all made decisions together, yay or nay, and that would have been the most the best situation that we could have. So that would have been the preferred. So now that we've made our decision, we've got to be able to adjust to what the others do, and if someone wants to do that, that's their prerogative. But I feel good about our team right here. I feel good about that. They understand we've done everything we can from our part, and that we were ready to play. And we're all disappointed to not get that opportunity.
Hey, last question, Jeff. What do you think of some of your peers being so vocal yesterday about wanting to play? The James Franklins, the Scott Frost, the Jim Harbaughs. I just sort of like to see what you thought. Not that you're on Twitter 24 hours a day, but I'm sure you heard about it and what you thought of that.
Well, I wanted to play just as much as them, and our team did as well. And I think that all of us wanted to play. And yes, those guys were vocal about it. At the same time, I did understand that I'm not going to second guess, the experts and the medical experts and our commissioner, even though I don't agree with the decision, but I don't have all the information that they have. And I don't know if maybe our coaches had all the true medical information that maybe the experts had and our task force had and the commissioner had. So yes, I was right with them as far as, yes, I want to play. Yes, if we can, let's move it back, buy ourselves more time. So I'm in agreement with that. And then to me, that's why, if all of us really want to play that bad and we're not getting the opportunity to do it now, we all need to be into trying to play in the spring and to at least explore that opportunity to make it happen.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Tom. Chris.
Hey, Coach. We know how much football has meant to you in your life as a coach and before that as a player. I was just wondering if you could imagine, at the highest level playing down there at Louisville, if you were told as a player how you would have accepted this news, and maybe you can empathize a lot more with players than some of the other coaches around the country.
Well, I'm sure that all the players are disappointed across the Big Ten and then even Pac-12 now, if that's the case, because it is disappointing. I mean, you train your whole life, you work hard. This is a great game. It's a lot of fun for yourself, for your families, for your teammates. It builds character. It helps you in the future. And, it's a disappointing day. And it's something that, we wish never would have happened. And unfortunately did. So, the only thing I can do, and hopefully our coaches can do, is go somewhere from here. How are we going to make it a positive? And to me, when you talk about seniors that may not get an opportunity to play again, I would like to find a way to let them play in the spring. So that's why I'm so vocal about trying to find a way to make it work. because I think these guys deserve an opportunity to play. And, they've worked their tail off, and we need to try to provide that and see if we can figure that out.
And Coach JoJo Gentry alongside Chris Hagan here. Obviously, you're hopeful for a spring season, but what do workouts and training sessions look like for you now and the players up until potentially March or whenever the season could get started in the spring?
Well, those things haven't been decided yet. I know what my opinion is. I mean, I feel like it's important that we provide a home for our players right now and give them an opportunity to train and the proper nutrition and the proper shelter and get a great education and continue to improve the game of football. If we're shooting for a possible spring season, you don't want to burn your guys out right now. You want to get them in shape and maybe go back to an 8-hour week normal summer hours that you have where our guys are training and doing football work and getting better and supposedly, maybe having the weekend off. And as we get closer to that time frame in the spring, maybe we increase the hours that we can have with them. And whether that's go back to this 20-hour rule that we had here in these 6-week acclimatization period where we have some walkthroughs and we can do some more things with them. It's good, to think that you could, get a spring practice in the fall with what's going on with the virus and the pandemic. No, I don't think that's feasible. I mean, I'm all for football. I'd love to play as much as we can, but I don't think that's feasible. So I think we've got to be smart and prepare ourselves to hopefully have an opportunity to play again. So that's how we would do it. We would be smart. We'd take care of our guys, but we definitely would provide them a home with proper testing and protocols that we're trying to keep them as safe as we can.
All right, are you guys good? Okay, we'll move on. Eric, you still on? I don't see him. Dakota? Nope, still nothing. And then is Mike Sullivan still on?
Karen?
Who is, and we've got one more person with us that might have joined late.
Is Nicole still on or she gone?
She's gone.
Okay.
All right. Phil, C, anything? Okay, if we don't have any more questions right now, we'll wrap it up.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.